Okay, two things before we get started here. One, if the audio goes garbled or speeds up, please blame Hewlett Packard and Best Buy because they say there's nothing wrong with my computer. I've been through several technicians from HP and several technicians from Best Buy, and they can find nothing wrong with my computer. So I just want to get the disclaimer out of the way in the beginning, and please hit the like and subscribe. I need subscribers. I just want people to watch my channel. I work really hard on these videos. There's no editing, there's no special effects here, there's no theme music, there's no fancy smanchy stuff. Welcome to the D. Louise book series. I'm Christina, Kristina. This is where I read books and talk about books, no special effects. Please don't forget to check out my Star Trek recaps on Friday and my If Then episodes on Friday afternoons. I work really hard on those. We just did Navy SEAL romances, and we're moving up for the Halloween season, and we're doing suspense, thriller, and horror. And we've got some really crazy books out there. So please check all this out. And don't forget Flashback Mondays, where I talk about all the books in Romantic Times Book Review magazine. Over sometimes I go crazy and do 80 books. Do a little bit from all the genres: historical romance, contemporary romance, paranormal, inspirational, sci-fi, contemporary romance, Regencies, the whole nine yards. And then, of course, my daily book reviews. This is the last book in the J.R. Ward Black Dagger Brotherhood. Until next year, we have read them all. And I want to tell you that my computer thing gets hot. And I had it was near me when I had my laptop and I was making my notes for the book. And my body was so hot. So hot. And when I read the last paragraph of this book, I got the chills. Total, absolute chills ran through my body. Because, if I didn't know better, I would have said it was the last book, but I know it's not the last book. Or at least I hope it's not the last book. I assume it's not the last book. We still need to get the kids' book. And we still need to have the kids' scene with the dad. We didn't get that this book. I waited the whole book for this. But anyways, let's get back to it here. And remember, spoilers. Lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of spoilers. This book takes place 33 years. I think it's 33 years, 9 months, and 3 days after Lassiter. And that's a huge jump. And there's quite a few new characters, new younger characters. And she's slow to tell us who they are. It takes a little bit to figure out who they are. And I thought there's a lot of characters with personal conflict. This is Nala's and Nate's story. Nate, of course, has his history with Raven. And Raven has, of course, moved on with Lassiter. And it's just, there's, I don't know how to put it. Let's see. We have several characters with conflict. Now, I don't like what Nate does. I don't like that Nate is working for a gangster. And we have Lash is back in full Omega, creating lessers up the yin yang. And of course, Lash knows a whole bunch of stuff about the Glimera. And as we learned in the last book, the Glimera have started up again, but we don't hear too much from them in this book. We start the book with these two guys, and we have no idea who these guys are. They come out of the blue. She always starts out with people we have no clue about. And they take out this guy, and you don't know why this happened or what happened, but it's revealed later on. Then you have Zadist worrying about Nala. Apparently, he's been threatening all her potential boyfriends over the years so no one will approach her because they know who he is and what he is capable of. And we catch up. We have Nala and Biddy talking about a YouTube influencer that's trying to talk them into doing stuff differently. And it sounds like a whole bunch of brainwashing to me. Then we have Nala and them going to the bar. And I don't know if it's Revenge's bar or not anymore. It really wasn't said. And then we get a Marta, and we get Shuli is back. And Shuli's journey takes an unexpected twist at the end there. And I was gonna read this book, but I'm just gonna let it go. But then we have the conversation between Wrath and Fritz about Wrath says, I will always need you. The society, the families will always need you. Who else would take care of my home and my family better? Rise and resume your duties, secure in the knowledge that your services are required now and forevermore. Fitzgerald Perlmutter. It's just, I mean, Fritz has lived with the guilt for the last 30 years. And I want to know why Raven waited 33 years. What was the point of waiting so long? I always needed you and always will. Who else could take care of my family and my home better than you? Rise and resume your duties, secure in the knowledge that your services are required now and forevermore. Fitzgerald Perlmutter. Good thing there was no better love language for a Dagger than to tell them their job was secure, and they were so valuable they were required at the station to serve their king. There was a short sniffle, and then Fitz gathered himself up off the tile in a shuffle that was surprisingly spriteful. As always, Wrath could just picture him tugging his sleeves down with a sharp snap, then double-checking his jacket but buttoned properly. No, he probably had on an apron as he polished the silver, so he'd been making sure its tie was in place. It's my honor to serve you, my lord, the butler stated with dignity. I love you too, Fritz, and you're just going to have to suck that statement up, my man. I'm the king. I can say whatever the blank I want. There was a soft chuckle and then a shifting at the butler bowed once again. As you wish, my lord, as you wish. Poor Fritz. Poor Fritz. Then Nala is in a mood. She's thinking about all this stuff. And she goes out of the club and she runs into Lessers. And Nate follows her. And the Lessers attack. And she does a really, really good job of defending herself. Apparently her father has trained her well on how to be a warrior. And Nate gets shot, and she thinks he's dying, and she's calling ambulances, and she's calling Manny, and her father shows up and is giving her hell and grief, and she's screaming and yelling that this guy is dying and can't he help her, whole spew. And then, of course, Nate comes back to life. And then we have Biddy going through her thing. And then we discover that Biddy has a thing for LW. That's Little Wrath. And I wonder how the kid lived with being called Little, or they just never used the word Little. They just called him LW forever. And Biddy, when she goes back to the mansion, she runs into Wrath. Oh, she also has a big spoiler. She runs into Vicious, and Biddy tells Vicious that she has visions like he does. And um, she said to, and we haven't seen this yet, and this is why I think it's going to be in the next book. Um, uh, and this is when it's revealed that LW is not a hugger. You never hugged me, he said. I'm sorry, what? Well, you're not exactly the huggable type. No, why not? Her eyes drifted to his chest. There were weapons under his jacket, probably holstered beneath his arms and around his waist. The guns and knives weren't putting. Her father was always armed, so she was used to all that. But the idea of getting up close to LW's body, feeling it against her. He opened his arms. How about me? This is why I had to come, she thought. This moment right here. And yet she was frozen by the sense that something was coming, something that was. After a moment, LW lowered his arms. Fair enough, but I'm staying until you're safely dematerialized. Betty shook herself back to attention. You surprised me, that's all. You don't have to explain. I don't know if I can materialize. Why not? Are you ill? No. Um, and then she says to him, you have a secret. He says, what? Something you cannot share. It's come home tonight. She moved her eyes as her words came faster and faster. You need to be careful, LW. Your anger is your downfall, and that which you were cheated of was stolen by a thief who doesn't care about its ill-gotten gains. Unless you can forgive fate, you're going to destroy all of us. And then they're interrupted and she never gets to explain. And then she goes to talk to Vicious about her rumors, her visions. And we get a couple other people get to see that Wrath is back. And then Mary and Biddy have a talk that Biddy is going to be going into her kneading soon. So hopefully in the next book she'll get with LW. We'll get some of that. It's a shame we didn't get to see the kid growing up just a little bit. Wrath goes to talk to Lassiter in the sanctuary to ask for his sight back. Lassiter tells him no, he's not going to interfere with stuff. And then we learn that Vicious has a new protege, a new person in his life, which I thought was interesting. And it was cute the way it was depicted. And I do so hope I still have sound at this point. Vicious protege stammered something that went back to looking at the 4 screens that were obstructed by a privacy filter. The flush that hit that lean face was another as usual. His social anxiety was so crippling it was a wonder he could acknowledge anyone. So they're talking about Alan, and then they talk about some lessers, but there was this part here. He's just staying with us. His utility here is invaluable. And without a stable environment, he's not able to function at high level. So it's just about work, right? Those diamond eyes nodded. It's just about work. Don't complicate a critical member of the team's efforts with sentimentality. Even though it wasn't in Z's nature to submit to anything, he put his palms all don't shoot me because the blank was amusing. I wouldn't dream of doing such a thing. As the brother went back to the monitors with a determination that bordered on temper tantrum, Z had to smile a little. But he knew better than to keep ribbing the guy. Even though, as Lassiter always said, Vicious could use the exercise. So he's got a new protege that's good with computers. And then we get to know a little bit of Shuli, and Shuli becomes a Nostra something, and I forget, and I know all of you know this better than I do, and I didn't look it up, but wasn't that, um, who had Quinn's relationship with John? Wasn't he John's protector? I think that's how it worked. I think it was Quinn. So anyways, if you want to know what gave me the severe chills at the end of the book, spoiler alert! I hope I have sound at this point. And though Fritz attempted to remain professional, he was seduced into the moment as well, and he looked at them all with great warmth and affection, from the original brothers whom he had served for so long to his queen, whom he had watched over when her father could not, and her human friend Butch, whom he'd been sure would end up bloodying the carpet, to Bella and John Matthew and Zex, Revenge and Elena, to Quinn and Balak, Payne and Dr. Manello, Saxon and Room, the whole of the band of bastards and all the others who had come unto the group, funneling into the household throughout Destiny's hand, congregating here out of common purpose and loyalty, living their lives together. It was such a privilege to serve them all. As he regarded them, he thought too of the ones they had lost along the way. No more tears in heaven. The words touched him and he prayed they were true. He needed to believe that the afterlife was just like this party, the now. All of them together for eternity. And that's what gave me the chills. Because it sounded like a finale to the series, but I'm pretty sure it's not. I'm pretty sure we're gonna get LW's and Biddy's book coming up soon. I'm hoping. I don't know. I'm fingers crossed. But that just gave me the ultimate chills, that last paragraph. So if you could please hit the like and subscribe, and hopefully I still had audio all the way through. Thank you. Have a good day.